Okay, I think we are live. Okay, good afternoon, Pittsburgh. Welcome to a new round of In Conversation. I'm your host, Manjari Gupta, owner director of Axios Tutoring. This is a forum where we bring to you a topic that's trending in our mind, around us, and we certainly feel is relevant for our families. I like to do it panel discussion style roundtable, so you're not listening to just me. So today's forum continues in that same theme, and but with a twist because we are using this to introduce, launch a new service at Axios Tutoring, which is college counseling, college admissions planning. Um, Let me just share that. There you go. Yay, drum roll. But in all fairness, this is not necessarily that it's entirely new for us because over the past decade that we've been working with students, we spend time getting to know them, who they are as a learner, what is happening in school with them, what their aspirations are, and as they transition into applying to colleges, if they need help with applications or essays, we certainly help them with that. But when it gets really interesting for me is when those acceptances start to turn in, understanding what is it that might have gone into getting that acceptance from the college is always a very insightful time. And then the tables turn and it's a family's time to then say yes to a college, what kind of factors that they went through before they said that this is where their student will go. And where possible, I do like to keep up with as they transition into college and the dust has settled, what is it that really mattered to them amongst everything, all of their high school experience? What were the things that really stayed with them that allowed them to grow through this journey? So it's the aggregate of all of this insight experience that is informing how we plan, how we offer this service, what kind of programming we are offering, knowing what is relevant in that moment in time without, while keeping a longer arc of time in mind without losing sight of what is important. I think that is so essential. Before we go into the specifics of what we are going to be offering in our planning, I do want to introduce the person in the screen with me, Vicky. She has joined our team as a counselor. She will be the one who will be working with your student, leading them through this process, counseling them, guiding them through this process. So Vicky, please tell us about you.
Thank you so much, Manjari. Yes, I am so excited to join the North Hills Axios team as a college counselor. I have 20 years experience in the school setting, specifically high school setting, working with students through all of the transitions, most specifically the college and career readiness. I guess I would call myself a nerd when it comes to this. This is my passion. This is what I value. This is what's important to me. All of those things that you described, I will read any news article out there. I listen to books. I will listen to students and community members talk about things, and I just love the conversation. So Axios is providing me that opportunity to get back into the ring and engage with students and work with them through this journey. And what's also nice about this is my son is also a junior, so we are moving through this timeline as well. So it's again nice to have that community around us as we are going through it as a family and also supporting other students and other families through the process.
And that is how Vicky and I reconnected. We've known each other for about the same time as we've been around, but earlier in the year, Vicky came to us as a parent, getting her son to get ready for the test preparation. And as we re-engaged, as we reconnected, we felt it'll be a good time for her and I to come together and offer a service like this, which is so much needed. and give them, while considering this process, give them flexibility to join us, to work with us as they see fit.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about a few things. Hold on. Okay, so before we go into again our program and offering, there are a few things I want to frame our discussion around. So this is springtime. Vicky, tell us, what should high school students be focused on right now? 10th graders, 11th graders, what should they be focused
on? It's difficult because the sun is shining, activities are literally just starting up again. And my message to my own son, as well as anybody, is study, study, study. Essentially, juniors are finalizing their transcript for college admissions. So 4/4 of grades are coming together for a final grade or percentage that's on the transcript. Test scores, AP exams that are sometimes seen on that transcript or delivered to colleges in the admissions process. So all of these things are coming together and are so important on demonstrating the students' strengths and their behaviors. So think about what colleges are looking for in students. They want students that are learners, that have good study habits, that are going to be engaged in the community. And that's not going to poof happen once they're accepted to the college. They have to be demonstrating those behaviors. So they want to see that the students are studying. They want to see that students are engaged in these kind of milestone happenings of the junior year. So again, it's studying. It's now more than ever, the AP exams are more important.
Yes.
College Board has done away with subject exams.
Absolutely.
They have done away with the writing exam or the writing portion of
the SATs, yes.
The SATs. So what are they validating? Those transcripts, those grades. So, you have B's and A's and, maybe a 3.5 and above GPA. Well, what are they using to validate those grades? And that's where they're going to turn to those AP exams, the SAT and ACT exams. So again, you're really going to have to put the sunshine aside and spend the last month or so focused on what you want to present in that transcript. What is your best?
Absolutely. And you said it, the sun is shining, and just as the weather is turning warmer, most of the kids in our area, they're actually heading back into school. So in a way, it is back to school at the end of the school year. So remote instruction changing over to more in-person school days. So that transition is also happening while the spring sports season is in full swing. So a lot of activities happening, but don't lose sight of finalizing your coursework and see if you can push that envelope just a little bit. Everybody has a different boundary for what that means, but pushing that envelope, not for college's sake, but for your sake, because you want to have that growth in your academic learning path. You want to be a successful student when you get into college, and you achieve that by ever so slightly pushing that envelope on the kind of courses you're taking and how you're doing with them. Perfect. So let's talk about juniors specifically. What should juniors be doing now to get ready for the college admission track that's going to be unfolding in front of them very soon?
So as the students are kind of getting back into school, this is typically the time that counselors are coming into the classroom and they're introducing the online platforms that they're using for college admissions. Most commonly in this area is going to be Naviance, as well as SCORE. That's another system that students are using. And I want juniors to really practice using those platforms. The more you become familiar with your login and what college search options they have and how to look and compare data now as a junior, then when you become a senior and you are using that on a regular basis to work through your application process, it's just seamless.
Absolutely.
And
so get those Naviance logins and make
Yes.
sure you know how to get into Naviance if you've not already done that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ask questions, send emails, just really you have to stay on top of it. Another thing counselors are going to start talking about is your senior year schedule and finalizing that. A lot of the schools are already building their master schedules, so they're kind of putting their classes into place. And it's important to ask questions. Are there going to be conflicts with my science courses that have labs? Are there going to be courses that are only offered once during the day? Are they going to conflict? Always have a plan B and always be proactive and ask those questions before August, because August is going to be another crunch time for you as you're planning out your applications and working on essays and all, those types of activities. You want to have your schedule finalized because that's something that you can do before you finish your junior year.
Absolutely.
Naviance also offers the self-discovery and the interest surveys. That is definitely something that you can take advantage of during April and May. Those are kind of test breaks for you. They're fun activities. Naviance has 3 of them that you can choose from, but there's a whole host of online websites or websites online that offer all those tools, and they're fun, they're easy, they're interactive. You can get information from them. And again, it just gets you focused on why you want to go to college and what is important to you.
All right. And how about letter of recommendations? They are getting, they're going to be needing very soon.
Absolutely. Start thinking about those teachers that have really impacted with, it doesn't have to be your best class, your strongest class. Maybe it's a class that you really struggled with, but that teacher was able to see your perseverance through that. They were able to see problem solving. They were able to see how your study habits improved through the course of the year and you trended upward in your grade. So again, think of those interactions, those relationships with teachers. Again, those, you don't want form letters. You want letters that really speak to who you are as a person, who you are as a student, and what you're going to contribute to that academic program at the college.
You're absolutely right. And while you're working with Naviance, while you're getting your letters of recommendations, figuring out who will be writing it for you, you also want to do one more important thing, and that is to get your unofficial transcript. And why is that, Vicki?
Okay, so this is your official document of high school. What did you do for these 4 years? This is the most important document that will follow you after high school. Yeah. It's always something that will come back to you. So again, you want to make sure that everything on that transcript is accurate. So you go through and you look at the courses, you look at the grades. You go to the website and find out, how is my GPA calculated? How is my weighted calculated? How is my unweighted calculated? And then you attempt to calculate that GPA and to see if you arrive at the same weighted and unweighted GPA. If you're not hitting that mark and you're missing something, then that is, hey, a red flag. I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to my counselor and see if something is amiss. Maybe I'm calculating it incorrectly, or maybe something is in an algorithm on PowerSchool that is just tweaked it a little bit. But again, this is your document. This is something that will follow you. So you want it to be accurate. And then you're going to sign that release form. Your parents are going to sign that release form. And that's going to be uploaded to Naviance, and that is sent directly off to the colleges. So again, it's just doing your due diligence, and that you know what your official transcript is saying about you, and it's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes on transcript, while not common, they can happen. And if you catch it a little late, then you're going to run out of time in the rush to get everything else lined up. So anything that you can take off of your senior year craziness plate and bring it forward will make for a saner summer and certainly fall. So this is all about saving you guys from the heartburn that eventually does happen over the fall of senior year. How about visits, Vicki? What are you seeing about college visits at this time?
So the virtual is the new normal, and the colleges were faced with a challenge, and they are just doing amazing things with bringing their college campus, bringing their culture to you through a virtual visit. I've attended several of the virtual college fairs that again invite college representatives through a, their virtual college visit with you. It's an awesome way to see the college, but also you can take a more passive role. You don't have that pressure of, that direct communication with the admission representative. So if you just have a college that you're thinking about, or you're getting a lot of mail from, and you just want to see and learn a little bit more, that is a great way to do that. If you're not linked through a virtual visit through a college fair, you can go onto the websites. You can also use your Naviance or SCORE accounts. They have the virtual visits set up for you. You can click on. It seems like a lot of the colleges right now are doing informational sessions to share their individual academic programs. So, if you have a specific college in mind, maybe the College of Business, the College of Communications, Engineering, a lot of the colleges are bringing the professors to you, academic advisors, and they're talking about their specific programs, showing you the facilities, talking about their research. So again, a great opportunity through this COVID, through the, kind of the online learning process. If you're not able to get on campus immediately, again, certainly take advantage of that, and the colleges are doing an excellent job of.
And we actually get into a lot more details regarding visiting colleges, what things to consider when you're building your college list, which I would think, and I know of so many of our juniors, that is front and foremost in their minds as to these are the colleges on my list, or how do I go about building my list. We actually go into a lot more detail in our upcoming webinar on Wednesday, April 14. You can register for it on our website, axiosturing.com. But yes, those are really key points that you discussed, Vicki, about what juniors should be keeping in mind. So it's always good to give them a bullet list of things they should do before school ends. So let's go through some of those.
Okay, so just to wrap up and reiterate, letters of recommendation, have the conversations with your teachers, talk to your counselor about that. Naviance SCORE logins, must have. A lot of times the counselors are going to be giving you something as you walk out the door, or an email saying these are the things that we want you to look at over the summer, so you're prepared when you come back and see us in September for application season. So pay attention to that as well. A transcript release form. This is going to be so important, especially for the students using the Common Application. The Common Application is going to link to your Naviance portal, and they're going to, digitally connect, so everything can be sent through your transcript, your letters of rec, your application actually be sent through Naviance, everything. So that release, that transcript release, is going to allow them to do that and match that digitally. Fourth thing, I'm drawing a blank. What did I miss?
Oh, testing accommodations.
Testing accommodations.
Yes, it's not for, we would think that most of the juniors have already taken the test, and if they needed accommodations, they already have those accommodations in place. So this is more for the 10th graders, right? Those rising juniors, as they are getting ready to wind down their sophomore year and get ready themselves up for the junior year. Get those testing accommodations. If you have an IEP plan, if you have a 504 plan, then you should get the ball rolling before the school year ends. Meet with your counselor, make sure the College Board accommodation paperwork has been sent through, get that ball rolling, because sometimes these things do take time. Even though both ACT and College Board have quite a lot streamlined their process, sometimes you just end up going back and forth between those organizations and you lose time. So if you have that in place, well in time, your student would be that much at ease knowing that they would be taking the test in a manner that is more conducive for their learning style. So to me, that testing accommodation is usually forgotten or not known about, but I think if we can tell our rising juniors that you need to keep that in mind, it really will save you a lot of heartburn. Yeah, so those are some of the really important things. And going back to your Common App and Naviance connection, juniors, you may not know what colleges you will apply to, but for sure, one of those colleges at least will be a Common App school, right? So you can look at those essay prompts. They have already released the essay prompts on the Common App. The actual application will not be loaded up until August, but you have those essays. And one of the things that we do like to say to our students is, again, it's all about sanity in the fall of your senior year. At least get cracking, thinking about what your essay is going to be about. Open up that application in the version it's right now so you know what's going to go in there. Get that resume built, right? Because once you have a repository of what you've done, it'll be easier for you to know what is it that you want to talk about or what part of your resume goes where onto the application. So those are some of the really key elemental things. If you take care of it right now, it's almost like project management. When the time comes, when those milestones come, you will be better placed and have all of the information that you're going to need ready to go. Did I miss something now or anything else jogs your memory, Vicki?
Nope, we're good.
Perfect. All right. So I do want to talk about how we are envisioning our services. Like everything else we do at Axios, I do not believe in a canned program. We do offer classes, we do one-on-one, but if somebody asks me, how do you need this? I always start with a ton of questions. Get me those questions so I have a sense of who your student is. And that's almost how I am envisioning our college planning services to be as well. So we have grade aligned packages, and packages in this is really a full scope for what a 10th grader should be involved in, what an 11th grader should be looking at, and what, when the rubber meets the road, when you are in your senior year and you have this humongous task of taking your who you are as a student, your transcripts, all of that data, and converting into an application that goes to the college, all of the work, that is what we are envisioning in our packages. But on top of that, we are also doing workshops. Vicki, do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. The summer workshops are just a nice hands-on activity that engages the students. And a lot of the activities that we talked about earlier, but again, it gives them that individual attention, someone's, to bounce ideas off of and to communicate through different assessments and worksheets. Sometimes a student needs to, use pencil and paper to work through and then put that information into Naviance. So again, your learning styles and differences, what works best for your student. But again, these workshops are a great structured time that that your student is going to be engaged in this project management. Really.
That's it.
So
that's it, really.
It gives you that checklist And what's nice is the communication back to the parent. So if I'm working with a student, if Manjari's working with a student or a tutor, you're getting that communication back that your student worked on this particular project, they have met their goals, we're moving forward. Don't always get that, when they're in schools and when you send them off to classes during the summer and so forth. But we do try to build their confidence, accept the ownership of this process, because this is, as much as a journey this is also maturity and taking on a lot of those soft skills that we want our kids to have when they leave home, the time management and communication skills that are not always related to that smartphone. So again, these workshops will really get them in the frame of mind that they need to as they enter the senior year. And you feel so much better knowing that you invested the time and energy before the senior year start. You feel ready. And when you feel ready and you feel confident, you're just, I don't know, you're just relaxed. You got your shoulders back and I got this.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's our goal for our parents and the students to feel that they've got this. And that's really where the design of the workshops come. Like Vicky said, they are goal oriented. Build your college list, college applications, whatever college application that's front and foremost important for you. That's what you're working on with the guidance of Vicky, just to make sure right information with the right tone is going into those placeholders. So again, and kids, when they work with each other, there's something about that group dynamic, that energy, that they not only, what I like about our groups is they are not only listening to the instructor or the counselor in this case, but they're also listening or learning from their peer. And sometimes the same thing might be said by me, but if somebody else says right next to them, it may have a different resonance. So I like that energy that a group exercise brings versus a one-on-one. So yeah, that's our summer workshops. And then our informational session, as I mentioned earlier on in the slide, that April 14th would be second in our series, where we are going to be talking about charting your course. Our goal is to talk about building your college list, visiting colleges, and then certainly Naviance. Naviance is what you're going to hear a lot about, but our goal from this particular workshop is to at least highlight some of the lesser known aspects of Naviance that are really cool and really helpful for as you engage, as you go further into this process of building your college list. So that is what I had to share with you all today. As always, we are a phone call away. Check out our website. Our profile for Vicky is all there. Reach out to us for any consult. We are happy to meet with you. We want to know about who your kid is, what your aspirations are, and we are here to see how best we can serve that need. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful spring afternoon to you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.